So when you bring the traction gap into the equation, the idea now is, in order to make this journey of crossing the chasm, I have to be funded.
Right.
And so, well, why would an investor give me money? What you learn about venture investing is that venture investing has, I kind of think of them as like quantum jumps of valuation. That is to say, if I give you some money and you spend it, and the question is, when you're done spending it, I have to believe that your company's going to be worth more money now than it was then, because when you raise the next amount of money, I need you to raise it at a higher valuation. Well, it turns out with venture investing, there are these incremental places where your valuation jumps. And that's what the traction gap calls out. So there are 5 inflection points in the traction gap. The first one is actually to get your very first seed investment. We call it minimum viable category. That means you better have a category that, if you're successful, people believe that could generate a lot of money. So that's the first, that gets you your first dollars. The next one is called initial product release. When you do initial product release, what you do is you take technology risk off the table. You said, I've proven I can build a product. Don't know if anybody wants it, but at least I can build it, okay? Well, but that's worth something, so I'll give you a little bit more money for that one. The next one's called minimum viable product. That's the one which you use to work with customers to say, can I get product market fit? And the key to the minimum viable product, it's the closest one to crossing the chasm, because you used your initial product release with your early adopters, but the minimum viable product is, okay, but do I have a use case that can create a repeatable business on the other side of the chasm? That takes a lot of market risk off the table, okay? And that's a big deal. Then you go from minimum viable product to minimum viable repeatability, or minimum viable revenue. And what that's about is, can you show me now that you can scale your market beyond that initial use case, beyond those initial pragmatists and pain, into broader and broader market segments? And if you can, again, I'm going, wow, this is worth a lot more. You're not just a one-trick pony. There's a lot of stuff here. And then the final one is the move to minimum viable scalability. Do you have enough systems and capability in place to go the distance?